What's up, Broncos country? Are you guys ready for what could be one of the most important weeks of the season? Because what I'm about to tell you right now could completely change the course of the playoffs and maybe even the entire franchise. But hold on, I'm not going to give it all away right off the bat. First, let me ask you something. Did you know that the Denver Broncos have a chance to secure not just one, but two massive objectives in a single weekend? That's right, my friend. And what happens in the next few days could determine whether we enter the playoffs as absolute favorites or whether we'll have to sweat every play until the final week. Stick with me until the end, because this information is going to make you scream with excitement. Check out the situation. The Orange and Blue just became the first team in the American Conference to clinch a playoff spot after that epic victory against the Green Bay Packers in Week 15. That's right, family. While everyone else is still fighting for a spot, we've already got our place secured in the postseason. But wait, do you think Sean Payne and our Warriors are going to settle for just that? No way. The 2025 season is already an insane success when you think about it. The Denver Broncos have already won 2 more games than in the entire 2024 season. And there's more. We went from being the last team to clinch a playoff spot last year to being the first this year. Let that sink in for a second. From last to first. That's what I call evolution, Broncos country. But here's where things get really insane. Because in Week 16, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Denver Broncos won't just be playing another regular game. No, brother. This game could determine the AFC West division title and, hold on because you won't believe it, it could also secure the first seed in the entire American Conference. That's right, you heard me. Number 1 seed. Home field advantage throughout all the playoffs. The road to the Super Bowl running through Empower Field at Mile High. Let's talk first about the West Division title, because that alone would be huge. The scenario is simple, but tense at the same time. The Denver Broncos need to beat the Jaguars and hope that the Los Angeles Chargers lose to the Dallas Cowboys. 2 things need to happen at the same time. If these 2 conditions are met, the Denver Broncos family will be able to shout loud and clear, "We are West Division champions." Think about it with me here, Broncos country. We spent years watching the Kansas City Chiefs dominate this division like it was their backyard. Years and years of frustration, watching that red and yellow team lift trophy after trophy while we fought to get back to the elite. And now, in 2025, with a young quarterback showing veteran maturity, with a defense that bites like a pit bull, and with a coach who knows exactly what he's doing, we have the chance to put a crown on our heads and say, this division is ours. The Chargers are going to face the Cowboys in Dallas. And look, everyone knows that the Texas team isn't having an easy season, but football is football, and any NFL team can win on any Sunday. What we need to do is focus on our job, go down to Jacksonville, and do what we do best. Win! The Jaguars, to be completely honest with you, aren't having a great season. But don't come at me with that talk about underestimating opponents. This is the NFL family. Any team can surprise, any defense can have the game of their life, any offense can explode out of nowhere. The Denver Broncos need to take the field with respect, with intensity, and with that killer mentality that got us here. And the best part? We don't just depend on ourselves, but we also don't need miracles. It's a realistic combination of results. Cowboys beating the Chargers? Possible. Broncos dominating the Jaguars? More than possible. It's expected. Now hold on tight, because I'm going to talk about the craziest, most unbelievable, most insane scenario of all. The possibility of securing the first seed in the entire AFC in Week 16. That's with 2 weeks still left on the calendar. Can you guys imagine the magnitude of this? The scenario is more complex, I won't lie to you. The Denver Broncos need 4 things to happen at the same time. First, obviously, beat the Jaguars. Second, the Chargers need to lose or tie with the Cowboys. Third, the New England Patriots need to lose to the Baltimore Ravens. And fourth, the Buffalo Bills need to lose or tie with the Cleveland Browns. Look at how many puzzle pieces need to fit together perfectly. But you know what? All of these situations are possible. Let's analyze each one because I know that you, just like me, are dying to see this happen. Baltimore Ravens against New England Patriots? The Ravens are a machine this season and playing at home against a Patriots team that's rebuilding. The odds are on our side. Broncos country. The Bills against the Browns in Cleveland. Look, Buffalo is favored, but divisional games are always unpredictable, and the cold Ohio weather in late December can make anything happen on that field. If you're thinking, but man, this seems way too difficult, let me tell you something. Difficult was spending years in the desert, out of the playoffs, watching team after team pass us by. Difficult was rebuilding an entire franchise from scratch. Difficult was finding a coach who believed in our potential. We've already done the hard part. Now, we just need to let the game flow and do what we control. Win our game. And look at what being the first seed in the AFC means. Every playoff game would be at Empower Field at Mile High. Every single game. That altitude that leaves opponents breathless. That cold that freezes the bones of teams coming from warm regions. That fanatic crowd that makes the stadium shake with every third down on defense. All of this playing in our favor in every game until the Super Bowl. Just imagine, Denver Broncos family, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Steelers, all having to come to our house if they want to get to the Super Bowl. Having to face not only our players, but also that thin air, that frozen field, that war atmosphere that only Mile High provides. This is real advantage. This is the type of differential that defines champions. Oh, before I forget, if you're true Broncos country, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single play of this final stretch. Hit the bell because we're going to bring everything about the playoffs, complete analysis, behind the scenes, reactions, everything. The family needs to be united on this journey toward the title. Now let's be realistic for a second here. What's the most likely scenario to happen in Week 16? In my opinion, the division title is much closer than the overall first seed. Why? Because it only depends on two things, us winning and the Chargers losing. It's simple, direct, and feasible. The overall first seed, despite being possible, requires a planetary alignment of results. Not that it's impossible, far from it, but it's that kind of thing you can't count on happening. It's like winning the lottery. You play, you root, you believe, but you don't bet all your chips on it. The most important thing, Broncos country, is that the Denver Broncos control their own destiny. We're not in a situation where we're watching scoreboards of other games with sweaty hands hoping random teams do the work for us. No, we take the field, impose our rhythm, dominate the game, and make it happen. And look at the confidence this team is playing with after that victory against the Green Bay Packers. Beating a title contender like the Packers in our stadium at altitude in the cold. This shows that this 2025 Denver Broncos is different. This team has grit, has technique, has strategy, and, most importantly, has a winning mentality. The offense is working like a well-oiled machine. The defense is locked down like a bank vault. Special teams are making the difference in critical moments. It's a complete team, family. It's the kind of team you look at and think, yes, this roster can go far in the playoffs. But let's take it easy here, too. There's no point in us starting to celebrate before it's time. Football is a sport of details, of execution, of discipline. A silly mistake, a stupid penalty, a fumble at the wrong time. All of this can turn a game upside down. The Denver Broncos need to go into Jacksonville with humility, with preparation, and with total focus on the Jaguars. The Florida team, even though they're not having a spectacular season, has dangerous players. They have proud veterans who aren't just going to lie down and let us roll over them. They're going to fight. They're going to battle for every yard. They're going to try to spoil our party. And that's why we need to be prepared. The offensive line needs to protect our quarterback like their lives depend on it. The receivers need to create separation and make catches when the ball comes. The running game needs to establish physical dominance right in the first quarter. And the defense? The defense needs to be relentless, constant pressure on their quarterback, tight coverage on receivers, stop the run like there's no tomorrow. And there's another super important detail that many people forget. If the Denver Broncos really secure the first seed with 2 weeks to spare, Coach Sean Payne is going to have to make a huge decision. Rest or not rest the starters in the last 2 weeks? Think about it. If we already have everything secured, does it make sense to risk injuries to our key players in games that won't change anything? Or is it better to give rest, treat those minor injuries, leave everyone fresh and rested for the playoffs? It's a complicated decision, family, because at the same time, you don't want to lose game rhythm. You don't want the team to cool off in the final stretch. But these are good problems to have, right, Broncos country? These are the dilemmas that elite teams face. Much better to be in this position than fighting for your life in the final week against desperate teams, right? What I can tell you with complete certainty is that this 2025 Denver Broncos has already written one of the most special seasons in the franchise's recent years. We've already clinched the playoffs, already exceeded almost everyone's expectations, already shown that the orange and blue are back to stay among the NFL elite. But the Denver Broncos family doesn't settle for little. We don't just want to participate in the playoffs, we want to dominate the playoffs. We don't just want to win a game here or there. We want to lift the Lombardi Trophy. We don't want to be remembered as a good team. We want to go down in history as champions. And all of this, Broncos country, can start to materialize in Week 16 against the Jaguars. 1 game, 60 minutes, 4 quarters of high-level football. That's all we need to take another giant step toward our goals. So I want to know from you now, do you believe the Denver Broncos will get the division title in Week 16? Do you think it's possible for us to secure the overall first seed in the AFC? Which of our players is going to be the protagonist of this decisive game against Jacksonville? And there's more. If we really secure the first seed with 2 weeks to spare, do you think Sean Payne should rest the starters or keep everyone playing to not lose rhythm? These are complex questions, and I really want to hear your opinions. Leave your answer here in the comments because your interaction is what makes this channel grow and become stronger and stronger. Drop that like if you're excited about the possibilities of this Week 16. And share this video with all your friends who are Broncos country because we need to be united in this final stretch. And look, regardless of what happens in Week 16, whether we get the division title or not, whether we get the first seed or not, one thing is absolutely certain: this Denver Broncos will enter the playoffs as one of the most dangerous teams in the conference. We have talent, we have experience, we have strategy, and we have that magic ingredient that can't be measured in statistics. Heart. The journey of this season has been incredible so far, family, but the best is yet to come. The playoffs are approaching. The moment of truth is getting closer. And the Denver Broncos are ready to write another glorious chapter of this legendary franchise. So mark it on your calendar. Week 16, Denver Broncos against Jacksonville Jaguars. A game that could change everything. A game that could define the path to the playoffs. A game that every Denver Broncos fan needs to follow with their heart in their hands. And you can be sure of one thing, Broncos country. No matter what happens, no matter what results come from other games, we're going to take that field in Jacksonville with one clear mission in mind: win. Because that's what the Denver Broncos do. That's what this family does. That's what champions do. The season is reaching its hottest moment. The playoffs are knocking on the door. And the Denver Broncos are ready to show the entire world why this team deserves respect, deserves recognition, and deserves to be fighting for the title. So, Broncos country, what do you guys think of all this? What's your prediction for the game against the Jaguars? Do you think we'll need just one more week to secure the division title, or will everything be resolved in Week 16? Comment down below because I really want to know each of your opinions. Leave a like on this video if you're confident the Denver Broncos are going to destroy the Jaguars. Share it with the whole family because everyone needs to know about the possibilities ahead of us. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because the final stretch promises lots of excitement, and you can't miss out. And remember, no matter what happens, we are Broncos country. United, strong, passionate. Let's go together to the end of this journey. Until the next video, family, and may God bless the Denver Broncos in this final stretch of the season. Let's go Broncos.